Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV. We're back for another episode of the Hot of the Press show, and we're joined by RC Bayern Chelsea Fan TV. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. How about you? Great to be here.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Charlie from Dugout Daily, as usual. How are you?
I'm not bad, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Not too bad. So let's get into this week. Obviously, we're going to talk a bit about Chelsea's success in the UEFA Champions League final, and
Do we have to?
yeah, we do, because not every day one club matches another club's record in the Champions League. Um, so yeah, we'll get into that first, and we'll start with you, Brian. Your first reaction to winning the Champions League.
Yep. So I think it's been a total unreal kind of experience the last 48 to 72 hours. I'm sure I'm not sure if you guys can imagine because I know that it doesn't feel that way for you yet, but you can imagine how great it'll be to win two Champions League within 9 years, right? For us, really, honestly, I did not expect us to win it. Just putting my honest opinion out there, right? Especially the way we were going and the Lampard and then Tuchel comes in, changes everything. Literally how Antonio Conte had changed, of course, against the game against Arsenal, if you remember, that kind of changed the course of the season. Similarly, Tuchel comes in, so many youngsters in the team, and then finally somehow gets a steal out of the team. Whatever is possible, resolute defense is what he made us, the team into, and that's how we kind of got into the semis. And then I think it was a case of just being good on the day, and that's what we did against Real Madrid, and of course against Manchester City, and that's something that it's still unbelievable. I'm pinching myself, but yeah, I think we truly deserved it. I know that there have been a lot of talks about the other clubs not being as good as what they could be, but the fact being that we have won it, and that's what matters. And just getting that second Champions League is something that really gets into that that talk of the highest league worldwide, and which is something that I, as a Chelsea fan, have it bantered that okay, you guys don't have history, this, that, etc. But in Europe, no matter what, we are among the very few clubs. I know that I'm going on and on, but that's how I really feel.
Yeah, I mean, even I have to admit now that you're probably big in the biggest club in London at the minute. You know.
Big up, mate. Big up for you to accept that, actually. But yeah, the fact is that, like I always believe in, it's always about decades, right? So if you see the last 2 decades, probably the first decade, 2000 to 2010, was kind of shared between the top, four, I would say. But the last decade, has been definitely, Chelsea in London at least, right? And that's something that I think that with the money not being enough with Arsenal, and of course the management, I assume that is one of the reasons why it is so. But the fact that we have just fired managers and gone for results has worked in our favor.
Yeah. Well, the fact that you have owners that care, and we've got owners that just don't give a toss.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you not give a toss about winning the Champions League? I mean,
Because they're
the
there for the
pinnacle.
money.
Is
That's
yeah.
why.
I mean, for an Arsenal viewpoint, it's infuriating because at some point during the season you were either the same points or lower than us in the table with Lampard. You're in the same situation, right? And yet you do the big mentality thing, which is sack him, right? People are going on about Chelsea was doing a project. Chelsea never do a project. Let's be honest, they never do. Their project is to get anyone in to win trophies straight away, right? And if you don't, you're out the door. And that's the thing with Chelsea, and that's what's made them most successful in the last 15 years. And you did the big thing, which is get rid of him, get Tuchel in, and to anyone that still said Lampard should have been sacked, right, what you're saying now, I mean, honestly, is the total right thing to do, and yet we're still sitting here and we're not even in Europe. I mean, for fuck's sake, we're not even in Europe now, and we're still sitting up with this manager who somehow gets away with being in a job, and it's infuriating because that could have just easily been us in the Europa League final winning that. We got any other manager in, and it proves my point. What I've been saying throughout this entire season: if we got a better manager in, we'd be doing better. We'd be winning that Europa League at a cruise. Right? You really think if we got a better manager, we would beat Villarreal, and then the way Man United played, do you think we wouldn't beat them? Come on.
No, what I feel like, honestly, like Lampard and Arteta was very similar. Like, the way, of course, the playing style was very different, but where they are in the managerial careers, right? I mean, probably not
Yeah.
very far off. And even the results, like even when Lampard was
Lampard's not
sacked,
that bad though, because you had a young squad and you managed to get your top four with a
of
transfer
course,
embargo. Right? That's
yeah,
managing what you've got. And I don't think it quite worked with the fact you had so many players coming. You had 7 players come in. So I
right.
don't think it quite worked. But with Arsenal, this guy's got no CV. He's got no experience whatsoever. Right? Apart from putting cones out for Pep.
But even the playing
Right?
style, right?
Right.
Steven, don't get me wrong, but even the playing style, I don't see how Arsenal is going to survive with this playing style, even, right? As in,
What
they
I mean,
can,
what playing style? It's passive.
yeah,
It's boring. It's dull. It's I want to fall asleep when I'm bloody doing my watch longs. I'm usually taking my phone because there's nothing to talk about on it. It's
I can
sideways. It's
imagine.
backwards with no risks. There's no one really urgency. There's no just willingness to just have a go and just like attack. And people saying that he wants to play more attacking fluid football. Well, when's this turning up? 3 years down the line? Well,
No,
I'm
it's worse
sorry, I
than
ain't waiting
Lampard.
that long.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's what I'm saying is it's worse than
But at
Lampard,
least
even
with
to be
Lampard,
honest.
you had some attacking football there.
Exactly,
You don't see
exactly.
it in it. You don't see this at Arsenal, not at
No,
all.
and even no, even Lampard went on a 16-game winning, as an unbeaten run, right? And I think October to November. So he had it in him. Of course, he didn't have the next level where he could take those, very good players to the great level. And maybe
Mm.
just, the man management is very missed out, right? Really, honestly speaking. So if you actually compare the two, Lampard was doing even better than Arteta for what he had. Like you said, like we didn't have a transfer, window open the last time, right? It was the first time that he had. So he actually did better in that short period than Arteta. Don't get me wrong. You can see here. Yeah, right. Lampard. I love him. Like I literally was in tears the day Lampard was sacked. I won't like that's a fact, right? But today, if you ask me, Thomas Tuchel, the mentality, like you said, like the mentality and just the structure, that he's got in the team, just belief. That's something that is, really missing, and just there's nothing to lose. That kind of, phenomenon is what he's got. It's almost like a new era. That's what he's got. So hopefully it stays. It's not like the Di Matteo times that we had in the past where we won the Champions League and then again went, diving in. But hopefully this should stay, considering that he's going to make some signings for sure this time.
Yeah. Just gonna quickly go to James before I go try. I'm just gonna quickly go to James's comment because he's got to go soon. My quick thoughts on Ancelotti going. How can he refuse an offer like Madrid and stay with a mid-table team? Nuno's favourite village. No, I just feel it's infuriating how he promises you all this and then he just dumps you straight away. I don't think that's very. I don't respect him for that. He's promised you the world, and he was doing not that bad under you. Right, you had some key injuries, and I was expecting you to get some more signings under him and go again next season. But right, the way he's just dumped you, and now you're left trying to find a manager, I don't think that's right, and that makes that I completely disagree with that. But yeah, it's like you said with but I mean, all I can say is, right, Arturian fans, what happens next season? Buckle up, and you deserve it because I don't deserve this. I don't deserve to put up with this manager. Every other person on this planet, apart from all the any every other fan in football, apart from the Arteta fans, can see he's not good enough. It's simple. It's simple as that. If everyone else can see it, they can't. It's like everyone hates Tottenham apart from Spurs. Right? This is the same thing. So, but because they just cannot give in and they just cannot accept he's just not good enough anymore, we're now having to put up with him another year because somehow he survives at a job. Right? And I'm sorry, hopefully next season, no one turns up the stadium, they see how much money they're losing, then they get rid of him like they did the last time. It's the only way it'll move. And if not, then you know what, Arteta fans and anyone that backs the club buys the shirts, buys the merchandise, buys the ticket, right, and supports that parasite at the top that's meant that we're now lower than Chelsea because he doesn't invest in his club and do what Abramovich does. People saying we shouldn't have to rely on him to get money in. Well, Chelsea can do it. Man City can do it. Even Liverpool can do it at times. Even Man United do it at times. So why is that? Why is it then not acceptable for us to ask our owner to go spend some money on our club? He's been here 17 years. He spent 20 million quid. For 17 years, he's spent 20 million quid, and that came last season as part of the other half of that party deal. That's from his own pocket. Everything else has been from us. Hello, mate. So, for me, if anyone supports it by buying shirts, even if it's League Gunner, I don't care. If it's League Gunner saying this and he's buying shirts, buying merchandise or whatever, then buckle up for the ride because you're basically supporting the guy that if you got rid of and you protested against, you get rid of Arteta. Simple as that.
Absolutely, yeah.
How can you still buy the shirts and buy everything after what Kroenke and you not so much Abramovich and Man City's owners have done, but especially Kroenke, Glaziers, and FSG have done with the Super League, and you're buying shirts? Are you mad? Do you want football to be destroyed? It's simple as that.
It's about priorities, right? As an Arsenal, for them, investing into the stadium, for example, was a priority compared to basically the ambition of the club results. And that's what we're going to talk, because this time you guys are not in Europe. It was extremely crucial for you guys to actually come in the final and win the Europa League, because I don't know how you're going to attract players, and that's something that I'm very happy about, not showing up. But the fact is, like, even last time, right? Of course, you got, I know, Chelsea legends like Luis and Willian and stuff like that. But at what point in their careers, right? And now you don't have European. Arteta is not going to attract names. I'm sorry to say, he's not going to attract names. So what is the selling point? Like,
But I will say this is that Bono is pretty much done deal. The problem is we've got a ban on him that's now till February, so we have to put up with Runnison. I'm hoping that they say to Leno, we'll let you go, just give us till January at least, and then we'll sell you. We then
but is he better? Is he better than Leno?
Oh, he's better than Leno. Yeah, he's miles better than Leno. He plays on that. He's good at his feet. He's shot stopper. Yeah, I've already had that confirmed. So
because we were linked with him right before Mendy came in.
Yeah, but the thing is that he's, because of this ban, he's cheap.
Yeah,
right?
I can get that.
That's the thing. Is that otherwise he'd be at 40 million and we never get him. Buendia, I think, will go to Arsenal. Basuma wants to move to Arsenal. The director has said they're happy to take 30 mil if Nketiah is probably part of the deal. So that's more an advantage to us than Liverpool. So there's stuff that if we're looking at the right players, we're not going to get like the big players like Donovan was a goalkeeper, or like the big names like Grealish. Right? People keep going on about Grealish. Get it out of your heads. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
no, not really got Man United and Man City there that are looking for him. Well, yeah, I'll just go for quick comments and then I will go to Charlie. Love to you, man. Also, if we don't get Conte and we don't get him or Benitez as consolation, We are finished. Big up the panel. Sadly, my blood boils thinking about Chelsea. That second Champions League hurts. Does hurt. Really does. Because we used to be clear of anyone being the third biggest club in the country. And in some ways, you can have to say that Chelsea are now. Right? You may say that we have more trophies, but
they were bigger than you before Saturday night. Let's be honest.
But no. Look, beforehand, you would definitely say Arsenal were bigger with the history and the fan base, and also the amount of trophies they've won over the time. Now with the second Champions League, you have to bring that into question now. So, I just overcome 2012 nightmares. Now I have to get over these years' nightmares for years. Yes, exactly. Buckle up. It's going to be another bumpy, turbulent ride with Arsenal. At least Lee isn't buying a hat, scarves, footwear, etc. from the armory. Everyone else is. Yeah, I'll give you that one. But it's still buying a shirt though. It doesn't help. That's probably like I wonder how Zubian feels about Willian wanting to come back to Chelsea.
Yeah, it's actually quite interesting, right? As in, you know what? We are good, thank you. But the fact is, I personally love him. Like against the common Chelsea, bandwagon, I actually love him. He is literally run miles together in matches for us for 7 years. Like I love him, but the fact is, he's over. Like he's finished. Right, the day that he decided that he's going to go to Arsenal to win the Champions League, he told that okay, he actually is going for his restaurant. He wasn't getting a mega deal in Chelsea, and we all know.
Arteta saying that, yeah, I'm gonna
we all know, like it's no secret. It's Louis and Willian who have a restaurant in town, and that's what they want to be in London for. David Luiz is probably gone. He's gone, right? David Luiz, no?
Yeah, he's gone.
So I think Willian is gone as well. And I don't see him coming. It's a blessing in disguise. Imagine Chelsea had offered him a contract, he did not accept, and the replacements that we got for Willian, in a way, Kai Havertz, I would say, like one of the replacements, right? He scored the goal in the final of a Champions League.
Oh, so it's a plus for you, plus for us. For fuck's sake, we took him 36 games to score a goal. For it to turn up. I mean, hello, you may not notice you missed the rest of the season. This guy's a liability, mate. This guy's the joke. Charlie, I said I'd come to you anyway. Right. Obviously, you're the other side of this Champions League final. Yeah, how you feel, man?
Gutted, devastated, frustrated. Yeah,
and that's after winning the Champions League, and that's after winning the Premier League and the League Cup. Shows how much the Champions League means as well. I don't think it's just because of the money sense. It's just about the fact that what it means for in terms of status is like being one of the elite clubs in Europe, and I don't feel that that's Man City's only chance. I feel that that'll come. I think they'll get stronger from this next year, to be honest. And if they get the right players, say they get a Grealish and a couple of other players as well, they'll be just as strong next year. And who says they're not going to do it next year?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, who would you say you need to get in, Charlie, if you want to try and win it next year?
Haaland or Kane.
Haaland or Kane. There's no one else in any other positions you need.
No, and then just maybe a replacement left back and maybe someone to replace Sterling or something like Jack Grealish, for example.
Okay. Yeah, okay. What do you feel with Man City? Do you feel that's what they need to sort of try and get that Champions League next season? So that's surely what they're trying to get for.
Yeah, that's what we've been aiming for years.
Yeah, and just before I go to Anki, I'm just going to quickly Arteta did say in his own press conference he wants to win the Champions League in 3 years. Not anymore, Arteta. And Arteta out. Yeah, it's like I said already, and Charlie knows what I'm going to say. there's more chance of me having Ariana Grande on this channel than us winning the Champions League in 3 bloody years. It's not happening, right? So,
Sadly, yes.
because I've said that, we've now got to start trying dialing her agent and try and get on it, because it's not going to happen. So there we are. I've got to try and find. That's gonna be difficult. That is. But anyway, hi Stephen. Hope you're well. Would have been nice to see Aguero lift the Champions League, but they're miles ahead of us. They had Aguero and Foden. We haven't get yet, and Willian. Absolutely. Big up, Mike. And yeah, for everyone tuning in, do smash that like button and subscribe button. But yeah, Anki, we'll go to you with Man City.
Sure.
What do you feel they need to do to? What players they need or anything? What do they need to do to try and make sure they win that Champions League next season?
Honestly, like I don't see any changes. Yes, left back is a position that Charlie mentioned. Definitely is a problem for them because I've not seen that consistency at left back. Like I remember Mendy playing sometimes and Reece James got him spinning. And Zinchenko, although is great on the ball, but he's not got the strength. So I think left back is the only position because Guardiola, I think even in the past when he was managing Barcelona, I don't think he had a great time with Ibrahimovic, right? So he doesn't play with that tall striker either. Like even in Bayern Munich, I know that although Lewandowski was there, but the way Lewandowski played under Guardiola was not like a tall striker who would hold the ball.
No, that's not his football, is it?
Exactly. So I don't see Haaland, fitting in well. Kane, yes, probably, because he kind of drops in back and. But as a Chelsea fan, and I'm sure, like the Arsenal fan, Stephen, even you would agree that if Man City buys a striker who can get in like 25 goals a season, I think we might as well call the league right now, because that's something that probably is like missing in some games where the games are tight, low block games where if they get a tall striker, then that strength element comes into picture, right? And that's where Havertz is someone that we used in this game, for example, right, in the final. And if Man City get that, I think we are done. Like in Champions League, I think Man City probably is just the grit and the determination. That's all is required. Like I was surprised Fernandinho did not play in the final. I don't know about Charlie's views, but Fernandinho is that steel that they needed in midfield. He was missing big time in the final, and he is someone who doesn't get a yellow card no matter how many fouls he makes, and that's something that Man City probably missed in the first half. So someone to replace.
Sorry, I mentioned that. Remember, during watch along, I mentioned when I saw the lineup, I messaged Charlie, who was out there in the stadium.
Okay.
You're missing Fernandinho. That's risky. Right. Charlie Cajones over here thought, yeah, we're all right. Yeah, no worries. Still confident. No worries. All right. You gotta listen to more experienced people, man.
Won't listen to you then.
You talking about? I'm about to need double your age, mate.
I'm only joking.
Wow, we're discussing ages. Then I think I'll probably be the oldest over here.
You got look. You see with certain clubs when they're that young, they make mistakes. They make mistakes when they're that young, and like teenagers' mistakes. Hopefully, when the club goes up a little bit, they might be able to win and get into the big boys' table.
Good one. But yeah, I think for Man City,
he's not responding to that one. No, he's not responding to that.
Right. I think honestly, like Man City is set. They just need like one or two players, and it's just the mentality, right? And that's something that will come with experience. Like we remember, like how Charlie feels gutted. People will say we felt gutted in the 2008 penalty shootout against Manchester United. Trust me, I've not had a worse feeling than that ghost goal. I don't know if you guys watched it against Liverpool, 2005, 6, and the
penalty.
Yeah, even before that, I'm saying 2005-6 era, like that was when Chelsea, were really like coming into the big group, right? as in how it feels in those close matches is what I really have experienced. So I can totally get it where Charlie's coming from, but it'll come with experience. I know that now that they've reached the final, I think the next stage will be to win it. It's a matter of when and not if.
Yeah. Wow. Charlie has given up on Sterling. Chelsea will be
Shit.
challenging for Chelsea will be challenging for the title next season. Spurs will be challenging for top four. Will be challenging to stay in the top 10. Fernandinho was the only player who could actually compete with Kane. Who could compete in a
Kante.
battle with Kane. I can't say sorry. Yeah. Charlie, what would you say with uh? Do you feel that like sort of that's just getting that striker is the only main thing you need really? Is that the only main thing you really need? Because I think that if you get a striker, we're screwed. All of us.
Yeah, that's the main thing we need.
So yeah, and because I don't think Jesus is gonna quite cut it. To be honest, there was another opportunity on
Jesus is more of a winger than a striker.
it. Yeah, and maybe he'd be actually shoved out to the wing, maybe, and if Kane or that came in, who? I mean, you said Haaland. I remember you saying in a previous stream that he's the one you prefer.
Mm.
Because I think it's between Kane and Haaland.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I would say with I mean, it makes a very good point with Chelsea next season. If we also get two more key areas filled, I make them one of the favourites to take the title next year, or take it really to Man City, especially after the bounce of beating them in a Champions League and beating them 3 times in one season under Thomas Tuchel. So, yeah, what would you say is the areas you need to fill if you think you're going to be able to win the title and get?
Obviously upfront, right? We missed like 10 out of every 12 chances. That's where I would say, like, of course, Timo Werner hasn't been firing, so we'll have to wait and see how he does in the second season. The second season syndrome, as I say, I feel that he's like the second striker, so obviously we need a main striker. Obviously, Tuchel is thinking that Havertz is going to be, you know, played as a striker, but I don't see us, winning the league if we are playing with Havertz and Werner only. Obviously, Giroud and Tammy are going. I would say that definitely, striker. Lukaku is the one that we are linked with the most in the last couple of weeks. So, of course, he has unfinished business. So, if Lukaku is able to come, for example, and a defensive midfielder, because as long as Jorginho plays like in every Premier League game, he's bound to some mistakes when he's been put under pressure, right? And Kovacic is not so fit, and Kante as well compared to like in Jorginho. So we'll need a tall, strong midfielder, probably Declan Rice. Obviously, again coming back. That's the story. So I think if you're able to get in someone who's able to take the long shots from midfield as well as very good at headers, and of course someone who finishes goals up front, I think you're sorted because I don't see us changing the system after winning the Champions League. So we just need that tall midfielder who can score some goals, and of course a striker, and we should be set. But yes, the consistency is the key, right? Because like Man City is an example in recent years. As much as I hate to say it, the way they were charged up after December to go on that run without a striker even at times. That's something that Tuchel needs to instill in the team. Hopefully, like he's done to the defense, the striking force will come into picture. Having said that, I don't know if you guys remember the last time we won the Champions League. The following season we did terrible, and the last time we won the Premiership, the following season we did terrible. So our squad has that thing about taking it easy, which I hope doesn't happen with Tuchel in charge.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I hear that 100%. Um, uh, who would you say is the one player you would definitely want to see coming for you?
As in, given a choice, as in the talk of the town is Harry Kane, right? As in, he's on everyone's lips. Like every club requires a Harry Kane today because 25 goals a season wins you championships, right? And that's what we lack,
Not
right?
Haaland.
Okay. No, no, definitely not. Because, like, again, especially Chelsea, we've had experience of getting in like those high-profile names from especially Germany and Spain, Moratas of the world, of course, Werners of the world, who did not really, come to grips in the first season. And now, what we won the Premier League in the first season, right? So we've experimented on Werner. I wouldn't sell Werner. Obviously, it's too early, and he's done very well in terms of his energy and assists. So I would still keep him in the team, but I would go for a tried and tested, proven striker up front. I think it's got to be Harry Kane, and of course the second option would be Lukaku because he's played in the Premier League, and I feel he's not done badly. He's done very well in the Premier League. Yes, big games is somewhere that he's gone missing at times, but he's like a different animal now. Lukaku, I think he can probably do the job.
Wow. So, what's the most you'd expect to pay for him then? What was the maximum limit you would say you would go?
Yeah, like for Kane, I think the talk is somewhere north of 150 mil, right? And that's something that'll also not get us Kane, so no point talking about it. But for Lukaku, I think like we've got to break our record. Unfortunately, buying a player back for what we sold, I think for peanuts compared to what it is now. But I'd still pay around 90 million for Lukaku, and that's something that we go like the demand for Declan Rice is about 70, 75 from West Ham minimum, going up to 90, right? But I would rather pay that for Lukaku because he gets you the goals.
Wow, definitely.
We have the
Yeah,
money because like we won the Champions League even, right? And we've had like I think we're going to sell probably
you're
Barkley,
Chelsea.
Loftus
You
Cheek.
have the money all the time, man.
Yeah. And we had a lot of good players. Like, don't get me wrong. Like on our books, there are a lot of loanees who are potentially starters for, say, a Europa League kind
That's
of
the
a club,
thing.
right?
And that's the thing with Chelsea. They have young players that they can sell high as well. So they always have assets to sell. This is the problem at Arsenal. We don't have any assets to sell, which is why we're not raising the amount of money we should do. And if we do have any assets, they ain't worth much. I mean, like Xhaka's not even been offered 10. Like, and even they're saying that's a push. So, and even though we want 20 for it, and they're not really trying to offer anything. So, yeah, it's annoying. Just go for some more comments again. Uh, Chelsea will be challenged for title next season. With Spurs, yeah, I said that. Lukaku would cost a lot of money. £100 million. 100 million for Lukaku is a very risky deal. Imagine the story if Conte goes to Spurs and then they sell Kane to Chelsea and Chelsea win the league.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Evening, Connor. Evening, Miss Mel. How are you? Big up yourself as always. How many players do Chelsea have out on loan? You have like a whole squad of players on loan. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
more
has
than
so
that.
many. Yes, you have so many, and like there's so many good potential talents that they can go for a certain amount of money if you need to raise funds straight away. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing, and that's why Chelsea never actually a problem, and that's why when people say Chelsea spend money, they actually just make themselves very self sufficient because they know what they're doing. They properly run properly, and that's what
It's
happens with
worked. It's
money.
worked recently. Like I can at least count 5 players who come back on loan and done very well. Of course, we had the transfer embargo and things like that. But the fact that Mason Mount, like he's been probably nominated as what the young player of the season, the player of the season, and so on and so forth. Within 2 seasons, someone who played in Derby County and Vitesse for God's sake 2 years ago, right? So I believe it works. Of course, not everyone. I think out of the 30 players that we have on loan, probably around 2 players are going to make it. I think Mark Guehi is a great shout. I don't know if you follow Mark Guehi. He's probably the left centre back replacement in the long term for Rudiger, who plays for Swansea on loan this season. And Conor Gallagher, although West Brom got relegated, I think he's under shout for me.
Yeah. And
Quickly,
go on.
Stephen, the England team's in if you want to know what it is.
Okay.
Do you want me to read it out?
So I'll get it off. I'll get it up. I can get it up now. There you go. Right, just get this up so that way everyone can see it.
It's on Twitter.
Oh, it's on Twitter.
England's official Twitter.
Got it. Give me a sec. Just give me a sec, guys. I'm about to do it now. Right. The squad for the game is Pickford in goal. Trent starts with Kieran Trippier, Declan Rice, and Tyrone Mings and Connor Cody. So it looks like a back three with Trippier as the left back. It looks like to me the left wing back with Trent on his own as the right wing back. Bellingham and Grealish look like they're going to be in the centre midfield. Lingard's going to play. We're not fucking using him. What is this guy on about, honestly? I don't get this. You're not using him. So why are you putting him in? I don't get him at all. Is Aaron Ramsdale in the squad?
He's on the bench.
No, is he in the 26-man squad?
No.
Why is he on the bench? Why is Ben White proud on the bench?
Neither's Ben White.
Ben White's not. Why are you playing players or putting them on the bench when they're not in the fucking Euro squad?
Just a consolation, I believe.
No, it's to
Crazy guy.
no, it's to make you the best team for the Euros. Are you dumb? This is like an Arteta thing. This is why this guy. I don't know who's worse, Arteta or Southgate. Honestly,
he just picked so many right backs, because he's not able to take hard decisions. That's what I would say.
But Jack Grealish on the left and Jesse Lingard on the right, by the look of it. But I don't. Well, no. Hang on. Grealish looks like it's going to be in the centre midfield. Because Saka's got to go on the left and Jesse Lingard's got to go on the right. Or the other way around. This makes no fucking sense. Absolutely no sense. Guy's a twat. Honestly. I don't know what he's doing. Guy's brain dead. Absolutely brain dead. Let's go for some comments to reaction on that. Hope you're well. Come on, Steven, in Sign Academy players. Jamie Cumming, goalkeeper, was on loan at my own town club, Stevenage, last season. He will potentially be a good backup goalkeeper to Mendy in a few years.
Oh, yes, I
definitely. Agree. Nice to see you, Ankit. Lingard is starting and he's not even in the squad. I don't get it. Miss Mel, hello. Yeah, they're talking about themselves. I think Trippier is playing as a left back. I was responding to you. Lingard has no balls, in my opinion. I'll stay, but I won't be playing in Euros.
He doesn't have a choice. No. I would say definitely, Lingard didn't have a choice. Come on, he was not played. I know that he had personal issues. He wasn't played at Man U. Then he goes on loan, does terrific job, and then probably in the reckoning altogether in the probables, and then he's not played. And now if he's given a choice, he has no other choice but to play.
Yeah.
It's like beggars are not choosers, right? Unfortunately, that's what it's become. like England need some creativity, some pace. So I don't understand what is it that made him pick what four right backs over Lingard and I think Madison. Obviously, he's not in form, etc. But still,
Yeah. So
let's hope for the best. I don't know, like
we've
both
got
of us. Mhm.
Everton Rose on. How are you? Good to see you.
Absolutely fuming. I can't even lie. Like, I'm so glad you asked me on. I'm so mad. No, like, I wasn't
I'm gonna
mad
give it to you.
until I
I'm gonna give
saw.
it to you.
Sorry, can I? Am I? Sorry. Yeah. Feel free.
No, go
I
on.
don't think
Go
I've
for
met
it,
you
man.
before.
Go for it.
Is that okay if I rant? Then maybe we introduce each other.
Yeah,
Sorry,
go for it. Go for it. Do I
I
put you full
wasn't mad.
screen?
Yeah, no, it's fine. I wasn't mad at Ancelotti. I wasn't mad at him at all. You don't say no to Real Madrid, but the nonsense he's come out with in the last like half an hour to an hour in the press conference, I'm livid with him. I'm furious. He said basically Everton's objective in the last 2 years is not to be relegated. And I couldn't do it, and I couldn't get into Europe with them. Like, we all knew that we were garbage. Like, we know as Evertonians, we don't say it often because we're quite proud. We knew that we were garbage. You sold us the dream. You told us that Dominic Calvert-Lewin is one of the best strikers in Europe, and I sat there like, are you sure about that? Like, I could name 5 that are probably better, but the way that he was going on, he's the next Inzaghi. Like, you told us we're good enough. Like, it genuinely feels like a breakup. It genuinely feels like a relationship that's ended, and now he's being bitter and coming out. And then I feel like I have to be bitter back as well. It's mad. And I thought that my timeline could not get any depressed or like angry, but we're fuming. Like, we're just so mad.
I'm just trying to find some.
I think probably you guys will get someone for long term, right? I mean, I don't know about you, Rose, but Everton probably needs someone who bleeds Everton, right? And that's something that is required. That's the club. I don't think Ancelotti fitted in. He probably learned the wrong things at Chelsea and Real Madrid, as good as he is.
Yeah. Right.
But anyway, sorry. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Same here.
Yeah.
What a way to meet. Okay, guys. Sorry about that, but I've got to kind of jump off. So
yeah. Do you want to shout out where we can find you?
Sure, guys. So, as you can see, guys, I'm RCBN Chelsea Fan TV. RCB is basically a cricket franchise in India. I am based in Canada, but I'm an Indian, so big RCBN fan. So that's how the name goes, RCBN Chelsea Fan TV on YouTube. And you can find me on Twitter at ANK. That's my first 3 letters of my name, Ankit, followed by 30784. And you can find me on Facebook and on Instagram as well as RCBN Chelsea Fan TV. A lot of Chelsea content and probably more cricket content coming in as well. Thank you for having me. Okay,
Thank you.
have a good one.
We'll see you soon. All right.
2-time European champs.
Yeah. So go on then. Yeah. I can't believe he's come out with that crap. Like, at what point is Everton worried about surviving relegation? It's been way above that for ages.
Yeah. It was once, like in the last 15 years, that we looked like we could be in danger, and it's just we're all just fuming with him. I feel like when he retires from football, he should go and be an actor, because the part he's played as we were all sucked in. I was sucked in, and I think that's why we're all so like shocked now and hurt now, is because Everton's my team. I love being a fan club. I love Liverpool. And you know that all the players and managers say it, but I just genuinely believe them. And the first chance he's got to jump ship, he's gone. And it's just like, it's Everton. As Bill Kenwright says, it's terrible, but it's Everton. And why am I surprised? I shouldn't be surprised, but here we are.
No, I don't think that's like acceptable at any level. And do you know what? That if that's the case, like I'm glad he didn't choose Arsenal in the end. Right?
Yeah, you guys dodged a bullet there.
Again, we stopped at Arteta. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we got Arteta. I mean, you can always have him if you want to. That's the thing. So, who do you want then as a manager now that he's obviously pissing off to Real Madrid to try and do what he did there previously?
I don't even have a name. I want somebody that just wants to be at Everton and is serious about the job. Like, people are saying Duncan Ferguson, and at this point, I'm like, you know what? I know that he's not going to leave. Like, he's not got enough experience. But even those 3 games that he managed, we play with more passion, more desire than we did in the whole time under Ancelotti. So I've got no idea. Honestly, I've got no names to give you.
That's never from someone who's watching Arteta every week. That's not a good option, because if it works out originally and then it starts going wrong, it takes ages to get rid of him, because you don't want to.
It falls off a cliff.
Yeah, but you also don't want to have a go at him because he's a legend, and I would want to watch him to get tarnish his legacy as well. So, it's like when Lumba came in for 3 games. Now people start having a go at Lumba because it compares it to Arteta, and I'm like, stop having a go at Lumba. He's there to take temporary charge, for God's sake. And because can find a replacement. So, for me, I would say, would you take Nuno? Because he's looking for a job.
Yeah, I think he's. Yeah, I think his name's been thrown about. I think we've made contact with him. The thing is with me, it goes above managerial level. We're run like a pub team. Like, it's just genuinely true. Like, you'll have people in the boardroom, I can guarantee, in the Everton board, you'll have Ken Wright throwing out his suggestions. You'll have Mashiri. You'll have Brands trying to give his opinion, and they all won't agree. Ken Wright probably wants to bring Moyes back. Mashiri probably wants another Hollywood manager, so might try and go all out for Conte, but will never get him. And then Brands will be looking for that young, like maybe a Ten Hag or something. And so, I've got no idea like who we're going to get, because I just don't see that we align in any way. Like, they all want different things. It's pretty gutting. Like, I've said pretty much my whole piece really, but just we deserve more. You know, those fans that go to the game and every single week, we just get humiliated every single year. And then those of us like me that can't get to the game spend hundreds of pounds, you know, whatever we can on merchandise. And what do we get for it? We just get bantered, we get ridiculed, and I'm sick of it. I'm just genuinely I'm switched off. Get whoever in, the cycle will happen again. We'll keep them for 18 months, then we'll get sacked, then we'll be a new project, then we'll restart again, it'll be a transition again, and literally it'll probably be another 25 years before we win. And that's depressing and grim, but it's where I'm at, because we've had Ancelotti, one of the best managers ever. He's walked out, and now he's essentially running his mouth against us, and we can't say anything because he's Ancelotti and he's at Real Madrid, so he's just laughing at us basically. It's just, it's grim. It's grim.
Yeah, I understand that. I've never had a problem with them. I always liked them as a club, to be honest. I remember at the time of Moyes when he was there and what he managed to build there as well. So, I mean, would you try and tempt Moyes out of West Ham to see if he would come back? Would you?
I just believe
that ship sailed.
Yeah, I don't believe in ever going back. Like, I know that we do it a lot. We did it with Rooney. You know, we'll do it. You know, we do it with players a lot as well. For me, I wouldn't. I just want like a young, aggressive, hungry manager, maybe that I haven't even heard of. Like, you know, but there's the same names that are getting thrown around. It's Howe, it's Moyes, it's, you know. It's all of that, and I'm sick of it. Potter, I like the football they play. I do like the football that Brighton play. Maybe. No, I didn't even hear his name, so I don't think we're looking at him. So
that's the point. And I mean, that's one of my. It's probably my second favorite on the Rafa. Do you know what? I see Rafa going there, to be honest. I actually see that.
You do.
Yeah, because it's not like him to take a challenge up like that before, and he'll have more to spend with than he did at Newcastle. So for me, if the Rafa went now, it makes sense for me, and I think he would. The only reason he didn't commit to Newcastle long term is because he wasn't backed, and I
Yeah,
think
but
your
we back
board would
him.
back him. Yeah, well, you would back him, so I think he would stay there a lot longer for me.
Yeah.
My personal. Go on.
It's just that we just constantly give us our board just gives us all the opportunities for Liverpool to laugh at us when we linked with Gerrard yesterday and Benitez as well, who I would take, to be honest. I can look past the whole Liverpool thing, but Gerrard is just like, that's just
No.
yeah, it's just like, really.
No.
Is that the best we
You
can
imagine
do?
that?
Yeah.
No, I would imagine that if he went then and he beat Liverpool at Anfield again.
Yeah.
That would be funny though.
It's mad.
Yeah, Charlie, who would you say is a suggestion as a manager, like for Everton? Your response to this, like, because I just noticed the last half hour.
Yeah, I've just found out about what Ancelotti's been saying, and it's not right. First and foremost, as a new manager for Everton, I think Nuno's going Palace, ain't he? That's what I've heard.
That's what I've heard. Yeah,
So
actually,
I don't think he'll be going Everton. I think Rafa's the favourite at the minute. So
we're in competition with Everton to get a manager again. Oh God's sake! Oh,
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look past that and say, for example, you got a good enough manager in, and what do you think you need in terms of like building for next season? In terms of player, what squad depth?
So is that a question for me?
Yeah. Like in terms of squad depth,
Okay.
what sort of players what would you need to say strengthen for next season?
So many. Like, I would say we needed like 5 to 6 players with Ancelotti as manager. Like I think 3 or 4 of our players in our first team are good enough to challenge like top 4. I'm talking like high, not for top 10, not for top 8. For top 4, I'd probably say Dean, Godfrey, Alan, DCR, Richarlison. Decore maybe that's in there as well, but he's been okay. Is he top 4? I don't know. Like, so that's like 6 players. So we've got 5 spaces there that I want us to improve on. And yeah, but like, thank you so much for having me on. I'm afraid I am going to have to go. That rant actually really helped me. So thank you for that.
Nice. Well, more than welcome. Like sometimes like these channels need to be there to like sort of get your frustrations out and be like a therapy session. So anytime I can have you on, it's always a pleasure. It's always
Thanks so much. Take care, and hopefully next time I'll just be my calm, rational self as well.
Trust me, I'm never my calm, rational self. I support Arsenal, so I'm used to it. Take care.
Bye.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up in a second, mate. What would you say? What would you say going forward? Like, if you're looking at Everton from that point of view, what would you say Everton need to do in terms of just getting a manager, other than just a manager? After that, what do you think they need to do squad wise, in your opinion?
I think they need a better defense, to be honest.
Sometimes the ice cream man's turned up. Yeah, I'll go through the comments. What was that happening? If I was Lingard, I would still have refused to play. So weird. Miss Mel, you are a legend. She absolutely is. Go for it, Rose. Will Everton finish in the top 7 again? Who knows? If you get the right manager in, never know. Take care and tick. Thank you, Static, Miss Mills, SFeatleyTV, great channel and panel. Nice to meet you, Charlie and Rose. Big up. So I had to jump on another Plain Fan stream. No worries, mate. Absolutely. Respect to you, man. Congratulations again on winning the Champions League. You deserve it. Stephen, a question for Rose. Everton. So I didn't get that in time, man. But surely if we get on again, we'll ask her that same again. Would Rose take this for Santo? I think we answered that one. With Benitez's family still living in Liverpool, so that would definitely make sense for Everton. That's a good point. Rose, you can have El Neni, Arsenal can have Decore. I don't think that she would approve of that one in the mood she was in. I'm heading off, guys. Take care. How am I on it? The ice cream and just drove past my house too. Yeah, so like I was saying, mate, what would you say they need squad depth wise or squad wise to challenge next season?
Say that again,
So
sorry.
like challenge, like what do Everton need to do to improve, like in terms of squad wise?
I think they need a better defence. I think Michael Keane's shit, to be honest with you. I think their attack's alright with Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin. I think they need more squad depth and a better defence, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear that. I think Michael Keane's just not good enough. He needs sort of a revamp in defence, and interested to see what they get. But first and foremost, they get a manager that knows like what players he wants. Yeah, it's not going to help whilst the Euros are on, but yeah. And as for Ancelotti, well, he can go fuck himself. So. If that's the case. So, but yeah, we're gonna come to the end of the show anyway. But thanks for everyone that's tuned in as usual. Do smash that like button, please. Alright, do smash that subscribe button. Share it on your socials as well. Tag everyone that's been in there. Share it. And yeah. Thanks, Charlie, as usual, for tuning in.
Yeah,
coming on as usual.
Again.
Thanks, Static. Mel in the chat, everyone that's been in the chat, thank you. Big up Everett and Rose for coming on for just such a short time, but for 5 minutes. Much appreciated. And also Anki as well. Go check their channels out, like doing bits. And yeah, we'll be back. We're back tomorrow. I'm back tomorrow with F1's Perfect Formula. We're talking about the Lotus 49, which is the F1's first integrated chassis, first engine and chassis integrated car, so which was all integrated together to make it lighter and stronger. So back in the 60s, so that's a nice topic to go on. And then we're doing at 6 p.m. we've got 4 p.m. we've got the match reaction first, then we've got the 6 p.m. which is that. Then at 8 we've got a special sort of Arsenal history stream, which was the best squad ever out of all the Arsenal teams that have gone by. 30s, 70s, 80s, late 80s, late 90s, and obviously 2000, 2004. So yeah, we'll be answering that. So make sure all the Arsenal fans tune into that one. Right, if you are an Arsenal fan, DM me and I'll get you on for that panel. So yeah, until then, everyone stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you guys soon. Until then, take care. Bye bye.